I'd like to introduce to you our panel team. We have Howard Berman. He's the founder and CEO of BCA Management, a firm focused on helping corporations dramatically build sales management skills and the effectiveness of their selling teams. He has developed a series of natural laws of selling and is writing an upcoming book about these laws. He has worked with such corporations as State Farm, Morgan Stanley, and Aflac.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to also thank CED for having me here, and Deb and Michael, thank you for those nice introductory remarks. I'd like to ask you all a question, if I could. First of all, with a show of hands, how many of you are more involved in sales management than in direct selling? And how about the other way, direct selling?
Of flip-format.
How about both? All right. So both it is. Okay.
Everybody's selling all the time.
Well, that's good, because they are two sides of the same coin. Now, I've been doing this for a very long time, longer than I want to think about sometimes, and I started in New York in 1971 out of college, and I was working for a computer firm, and I had two territories. One was the garment industry, which actually existed in New York at that time, before it all moved to Thailand. And the other was the jewelry district. And I had to make a living in those two areas, so I was put to the test pretty early. So the way I learned my trade was to solve difficult selling problems. And I would like to ask some of you this morning to tell me your personal difficult sales problems so that we can kind of put them on the board, so to speak, and address them. Because what I'd like to do in the brief time I have with you this morning is attack those sales problems and solve them. So who has one? Please.
I need to change the paradigm of the way the process is entrenched in a conservative.
Can you give me a little bit more information now?
I need to convince printers that there's a better way and more efficient way of doing what they're
This is a demonstration
Great.
of flip-format.
Did you get that? Great. Very good point. So you need to be able to penetrate a little bit better so that they get the concept of what you're really trying to bring them, in terms of what your solution will, the benefits that will be derived from it. Great. Okay. Another one, please. I'm sorry? Budgetary constraints. Okay. Good. Yes. Long sales cycle.
This is a demonstration
Great.
of flip-format.
Yes. The way you look? You look fine. Thank you. Yes.
The entrepreneurs that I help are from a smaller market, and they don't necessarily have big clients locally to sell to, so they have to travel to bigger markets where they're not taken seriously because they're from a smaller place. So I need to help my entrepreneurs.
This is a demonstration of flip-format.
Good. Okay. That can be a challenge. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Yes. So, yes, that's a very good point. Okay. And you do.
Trying to get sales
This is a demonstration of flip-format.
Ah, okay. Everybody get that? An out-of-the-box product. Okay. In the back. I'm sorry, I didn't get it. Ah, okay. So breaking into a market? Okay. Yes. Selling without credentials. Is that it? Okay.
This is a demonstration of flip-format.
People on a very constrained budget.
Ah, that can definitely be a tough. Okay. Any other ones? All right, let's grab a hold of those. I want to start by talking a little bit about sales management, because it leads into other things, and I'm going to take the last gentleman's question, his problem, as a first thing we're going to tackle. Now, I learned my trade, as I said,
This is a demonstration
in New
of
York.
Flip-for-Mac.
I flew down from New York this morning. New York is still alive in spite of losing the World Series, I have to tell you. But it's very gloomy there. But after I sold, I became a sales manager, then I became a recruiter, then I became a trainer, and in my own companies, I always had the job of recruiting salespeople. So for those of you who are trying to find salespeople, and for those of you who are being
This is a
salespeople, let me share with you,
demonstration of Flip-for-Mac.
after all the mistakes I made, I actually discovered, and this is one of my laws of sales management, which you will see on the sheet, that believe it or not, there are 3 qualities you need to look for in a sales applicant. And there are not more than 3, but there are not less than 3. And so when you talk about looking for salespeople on any kind of a budget, the first order of business
This
is
is a
what are the
demonstration
qualities
of
you have to look
Flip-for-Mac.
for. And I want to tell you, I believe that if you follow this, you will make very few mistakes. The first one is they must be a person who enjoys communicating with other people. We're going to come back to that. They cannot be acutely shy. They must enjoy the art of the give and take with their fellow humans. Or as they say in Brooklyn,
This is a
human
demonstration
beings.
of Flip-for-Mac.
They have to enjoy that. Everybody understand that? Second, they must be ambitious. You might even say driven. Salespeople have a tough life, but a rewarding one. What makes it possible is drive. They have to be driven. They have to be ambitious. Now, who would like to venture a guess for the
This
third
is a
quality?
demonstration of Flip-for-Mac.
Close. A little bit off, but close. Character. This is the one that most people don't get. Now, why am I talking about character? Because if a salesperson doesn't have character, they're going to fail. Why are they going to fail? Because they're going to cut corners, not satisfy the customer, play around with the truth, and over a period of time, they will
This is a
implode.
demonstration of
They will
Flip-for-Mac.
certainly do that. How many of you have seen this happen out there? It's very true. How many of you have had a great experience with a salesperson who you knew was going to implode and you wanted to implode? We could talk about this. But those are the 3 qualities. Now, if you want to find salespeople, or if you want to be a salesperson, those are your 3 building blocks.
This
Now,
is a
you can't
demonstration of
hire
Flip-for-Mac.
or be a successful salesperson with 2 out of the 3. You have to have all 3 of the qualities. It's just the way it is. They have to be possessed of those 3 qualities. Okay? Now, I want to tell you a story about Aflac Insurance. They asked me to come in and train a whole group of young people that they had trained, they had hired and trained,
This is a
and
demonstration
who were not
of
making it.
Flip-for-Mac.
And this was something that I always got known for in business, so I said, fine, I'll do it. So there was one young woman, and I said, what's your problem? Just like I asked you. And she said that she just couldn't connect with her clients. I said, well, okay. She knew her product. Anyway, make a long story short, I said, tell me exactly what you do. Make me the client. Okay? And she sat down, she greeted me,
This is a
at me being a
demonstration
client,
of
and then
Flip-for-Mac.
she started into her pitch. And I said, where did you learn to do that? She said, well, they taught me this in school. I said, do you ever ask the guy any questions or the gal any questions? No. I just make the Aflac speech. So I said, well, last time I looked, if you talk to somebody and you just make speeches, they kind of turn off.
This is a
Does
demonstration
everybody
of
agree with that?
Flip-for-Mac.
So I changed her around, and really I didn't know Aflac that well, but I asked her, a bunch of things, and I said, well, I drew out a list of about, 7 or 8 really pretty simple questions.